Like, don't try to make things that you think are aesthetically pleasing to other people. Like, make the ugliest thing that you can, so at least you get past that whole hurdle of, oh, can I even do it? Like, get in there and try it. Don't aim to do something that's grand and great. Like, aim to do something little. Like, you'll get the same satisfaction from it when you're done, no matter what. My name is Christa McGill, and I'm a local fiber artist. I work with wool, any kind of fiber art in general. So wool, acrylic, cotton, yarn, any of that stuff, and also polymer clay. Because not only is it used as an expression for your own, some people aren't able to verbalize emotions and feelings that they're having, but they can put it out in an art form, whether that be like something woven or a painting, a photograph. It speaks volumes, I think. And then I think whenever you have someone who's viewing it, I think they're allowed to create a narrative that fits with what they're going through at that time. So it kind of gives them a voice as well. And so I think it's great for communication. I think it's great for expression of those feelings that are and verbalized. Everyone can kind of appreciate that. You may not have the exact same story behind it from what you're seeing, but I think that you can appreciate the beauty and the detail that's put into it and the elements that are coming from it. So right now in this moment, there is a big interest in kind of more craftsmanship, handmade. I think it kind of makes it a little more accessible for people who maybe thought, oh, art is put on this platform that I can't relate to. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate handmade goods, like the artisan work that gets put into these pieces. And I think that helps with mental health in itself too, because everyone, if you can relate to it and you feel like you can create it, then that's giving you a voice that you can use too. There's actually a local artist here in town who has a piece of my work in her art studio. And it's oh my gosh, to be in someone's space where they're creating. It's such a privilege, honestly. It's one thing to just kind of see it on paper, or just this exchange, and then it goes off into the world. But whenever you see it again, and it's in its new space, and it's in its new place, and it's where it's supposed to be, that's a whole new rush of just oh my gosh, that's amazing. And it comes back to this disbelief of oh my goodness, I made something that's valued out in the world. The only disappointments really didn't come from us thinking beforehand, our anticipation of what we think is going to be, because it doesn't usually turn out to be exactly I've not met any artists who have told me, yes, I planned something and it comes out exactly the way that I down to the line. And it's no, that's never how it works. There's always some kind of variation to it, but it's you can't recreate magnificence over and over. It's going to be different each time, and magnificent in its own way. So, and a lot of these collection here was all stuff that was going on in 2020. It was chaotic and it was hard, and there were bouts of major depression that went on, within just myself, and but at the end of it, there were also parts of growth and healing that were really beautiful and necessary. And I don't know that they would have happened had we not been in the situation that we were in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it was everyone was really kind of forced to kind of take the look at themselves. I don't know, it was nice to be able to have a platform that I could express that. Because otherwise it would just be inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's part of the mental health too, that I'm just you can get that out. But what I've noticed is, because I've worked in corporate world, and I've held a full-time, normal 9 to 5. The money was there, but the passion wasn't. And it was oh man, I wasn't showing up in anything that I was doing. And now, I'm able to do things that I'm passionate about, and the money is showing up and doing it. And I'm oh wow, these are all things that before I would talk myself out of. Like, oh no, you can't do that because of these barriers. But it's like those barriers literally they'll fall. When you find something you're passionate about and you put in work and time and effort, it pays off in the end, no matter what. I'm like, wow, like it might seem like it might take a little bit and the struggle might be there. I'm just gonna keep making things.
Good. Keep going, yeah.